Hi guys, it's Kanisha with Peace, Love, and Faith, and today we're going to talk about boundaries. Totally not one of my favorite topics. However, it's a lesson that I think everyone kind of struggles with a little bit. And thankfully, I have had the opportunity to have someone that I really care about tell me I need to put boundaries up in a space. Like they said, after we have this conversation, you need to put you it's okay for you to put boundaries here with me. And I sat with that because I was like, no one's ever given me permission to set boundaries with them. That's how you know someone loves you, is when they're like, it's okay to put a boundary here. Now, what I do want to get clear here is boundaries and walls are two different things, all right? Boundaries is what helps you respect your needs and respect yourself, value yourself, what allows you to not settle or to not allow yourself to be walked all over in this place, to be betrayed. Walls are to keep people out. We're not trying to do that. This is a toxic way of doing that. This is a healthy way of doing that. So I want it to get clear on the difference between boundaries and walls. Not the same thing, y'all. Had to learn this myself. So, boundaries. One of the things that I'm having to learn with boundaries is how to truly value myself, all right? And that is not something that was really taught to me. That was something that I had to really learn through contrast of relationships that I was in, where I would give my all to the relationship, and a lot of the times they would just take from me. I had to really work through this energy of like being used in a sense, and really just honoring myself in every way, honoring my divinity, honoring the love that I had within myself, and just honoring my authentic self. And when we don't value ourselves, we allow ourselves to be walked over and to be a doormat and to pretty much, it's a people pleasing energy. There we go. I was like, something's coming to me. I can't feel it. What is it? It's a people pleasing energy. And that is something that I would do in order to receive love back or to feel that I was needed and valuable. We don't do that anymore. No, we're not doing that. All right. And so I'm grateful for this person who had shared this with me, because at first I was like, what are you talking about? Like, why would I put a boundary here with you? But then I really sat with it just yesterday, actually. This was said to me like 30 days ago, and I just now just got it. So I'm not the fastest learner. I never said I was a fast learner. However, when I learn it, I learn it. So when I sat with this, I realized that this person was like telling me that there was a part of me that was open to waiting for them to, in a sense, choose me. And that is not how life works, especially if you understand manifestation or studying manifestation and just law of attraction, which is pretty much every day you're attracting who you are. And so there was a part of me that was like, oh, it's okay to wait in this space. No, you continue to move forward and putting all of your attention and your love and everything that you desire into creating the life that you want. So keeping you in the main focus of your mind, and really choosing to show up for yourself and provide everything that you need within yourself to fulfill your needs, instead of waiting for someone else to fulfill those for you. Now, when this person told me like it's not compassionate for me to wait, a part of me, how I received it was, don't wait for me because I might choose someone else. That was ego. That was not how that was supposed to go. But that's how I received it at first. So I was really defensive with this energy, and I was just like, this person doesn't want me, blah, blah, blah. But then I did the mirror exercise, I reflected, and I was like, actually, I do not want to wait. I would rather move forward in loving myself and taking care of my needs and focusing on me. And if this person aligns with me and God shows me that this is the person to continue to explore, I will honor that. If I continue moving forward and growing and really taking care of myself and choosing myself, and this person does not align with me and ends up dissolving out of my life, then okay, they did their purpose of being in my life and they're still giving me the lessons that I needed to learn at that time. But I had to realize that this person was inviting me into honoring myself and valuing myself, which is very loving. It's a very unconditional loving thing that they were doing there. And they were inviting me to unconditionally love myself in this place and to choose myself first and to put myself as a priority by honoring my boundaries and being like, okay, if you're not going to value me in this space, I'm going to put a boundary here and give myself space and give you space so that we can either align later and align in the space once I heal this upset, or we can get clear that this connection is not meant to move forward. As I got clear on the boundary, the connection continued to move forward. So I was able to understand the importance of boundaries, which is to value yourself, to honor yourself, to have self-respect for yourself. Like, I ask people, would you allow someone to treat your best friend like that? Like, would you be like, excuse me, sis, like, no, you should not be treated that way. I cannot believe you're letting that man like talk to you, or that woman do that to you, or whatever it is, but you would allow it towards yourself? Something I had to get clear on, and really choose to take care of myself as if I'm my own best friend, and allow myself to be honest about how I feel with how some of these people are showing up in my life. Now, everyone is you pushed out, so I really stress not taking things personally. So much easier said than done. I know, I do it too. There's times where like even today, he said something to me and I was like, like I was mad. I was just like, excuse me. And then I sat with it and I was just like, oh, I see what happened there. Okay, I see what he was reflecting back to me. And I can either take it personally and project all my upset onto him, or I can take full responsibility of what's happening in my reality and reflect on what he's showing me here, heal it within myself, and then by the time I'm done healing it, I'm no longer upset with him. I actually have deeper love and compassion and gratitude towards him. I prefer that. So yeah, having to really pay attention to what people are mirroring back to you and showing you. Now, your true twin flame, your ultimate divine partner, that is going to be your divine counterpart that you were created for and with. You can't go make someone your twin flame. I can't stress that enough, because sometimes people are like, oh, well, I really like this person, I'm going to make them my twin flame. That's not how this works. As you really become into your authentic self and really choose to honor all of who you are and love yourself unconditionally and accept all of who you are, you will naturally attract your twin flame. And I have been really getting to a place in my life where before I thought that's what I was doing, so we could call that like toxic positivity, and I had to recognize that on the outside I looked happy and joyful and fantastic, but on the inside I still felt really lonely and I still felt like I was missing something. So as I chose to go within and really connect with my inner child and provide what I needed in that space, fulfill my needs in that way, I started to really feel whole and complete on my own, to where I'm like, okay, I don't need someone here for me to be happy. I don't need someone here to validate that I am loved and lovable and that I am good enough. And as I really started to release attachment to people, I started to realize, it's from Buddha. Buddha says, attachment is the cause of all suffering. And so I had to really look at the places where I felt like I was suffering or I was chilling in victim mentality, and I had to put a boundary there with myself. Like, okay, we're not doing this anymore, Kanisha. We have to really honor ourselves in every way and acknowledge that you are perfect and divine and you're whole and complete as you are, and you're worthy, you were created worthy, and the only thing that tells you that you're not worthy is society and the beliefs that you picked up as a child, which aren't even your beliefs. Those are beliefs that you picked up from your parents and from the outside world. And so I can either identify with them and attach to them, or I can release that identity and I can just make a new choice that what I truly desire in my life is this, and I can align my beliefs and my concept in that way. And as I show up that way, it's actually for the highest good of everyone in my life, especially for my twin flame union, but also for my babies. Like, they need a really healthy, loving mom where I can teach them how to do that for themselves as well, instead of continuing to pass down patterns that I picked up from childhood. Like, I am ending generational curses here, y'all, okay? So it's really crucial to really look at your boundaries. Are you letting people step over them because you're trying to be accepted in love? Or are you being accepted in love because you're holding your boundaries and they're learning how to treat you correctly? And if what I have learned is those that you put boundaries up with who don't actually love you unconditionally, man, they get mad at your boundaries and they want to try to test you and tell you that you're wrong and that you're being selfish and all of this stuff. But if they unconditionally love you, they're going to respect your boundary. And that's one of the things that I deeply am grateful for my friend who had showed me this, that like, hey, you need to put a boundary up here with me. Like, that automatically let me know, like, this person unconditionally loves me and respects me because he invited me into honoring myself in this way. Again, at first I was just like, what is this? I never had someone invite me into having boundaries. Like, I was really defensive at first. But once I really sat with it, I was just like, wow, that was really, really, really kind and really just unconditionally loving. So I'm learning to really pay attention and be very aware and very present with myself as people enter and leave my life and what they're truly showing me in order to become my truest, divine, and authentic self, and to be in the highest version of myself and really be just the ultimate version of myself that I desire, that I've been working towards those last 4 or 5 years that I've been on my ascension journey. And not to say that the people in my past haven't helped me with that, they definitely have. But because I was only really receiving contrast, I was only really receiving like I would say the lessons, not that they're not unconditional love when I received the lessons, but I only received like them showing me where I was out of alignment with love. They never showed me where I was in alignment with love because they're not my ultimate divine counterpart. They're not my twin flame. They're not my perfect mirror. And so I was finding that I was judging myself in this place where I was judging my inner work because I would learn the lesson, but then I was like, they would leave my life. And so I didn't really receive the love back. However, that was the other thing I had to learn, was releasing attachment to how the love came back to me. That's completely up to God and the divine. It may not come back through that person. I may just receive the lesson from them. And then the love may come back through abundance, through financial means, through my children, through my friends who are here in my life, who are meant to stay for a lifetime, like things like that. There are ways that love will return back to you. It's not up to you. When you give love, it's not up to you how you receive it back. You just surrender and receive, and God and the divine and the universe is up to that, how that comes back to you. And so I found myself judging myself, which actually slowed down the process of receiving all that I desired and recognizing that my good was already here, that it didn't come outside of myself. And so I was looking for validation and reassurance outside of myself. Once I got to the understanding that that's not where it comes from within, I was actually able to align with my person. Actually was able to see him clearly because I was seeing myself clearly. Before, I was like really denying feelings and I didn't want to look at it because it was so uncomfortable, and it was like, this just doesn't make sense to me. But the way that I was going about it before, it didn't make sense either. And so once I released resistance and released attachment, things just started to line up, and I was able to see not only myself clear, but this person clear. And that felt really just peaceful. That was the main thing, is that this connection feels so peaceful and easy and relaxed, even though we've moved through more than I have with anyone else. We've moved through some really uncomfortable like conversations, but we always come to fairly a place of peace, to where I'm just like, okay, I feel closer to this person than like separate. So And I feel that way about myself as I heal deeper into this place. I'm like, I feel closer to knowing myself authentically and truly than feeling disconnected from myself. So boundaries are really important, is the main point of this video. And again, it's not walls. You don't put walls up. And how you put a boundary up is always from a place of peace. Walls come up in a place of defensiveness and anger and upset. And so if you find yourself being like, oh, I'm not talking to this person and I'm putting a boundary here and they can just like be over there and I'm upset and mad, that is a wall. But if you're like, okay, like I've healed, I've looked at this place, I love myself, but you know what, I'm no longer going to accept this kind of behavior, and I'm just going to put a boundary here and recognize that I deserve better and I deserve to be first priority and chosen and choose to really love myself in this place, and I'm going to honor myself in every way. Then they will mirror that back to you or honor that boundary and respect you there. So value yourself, respect yourself, remember who you are, because you're a badass king and queen and you're meant to be treated just like that. So make sure you're treating yourself the way that you want everyone else to treat you. And as you do that, people are going to start showing up that way and going to be taking care of you in every type of way. And you're going to be loved and just feel loved and just see love in your life all the time. So I hope that is helpful. Have strong boundaries. It is safe. It is loving. And I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.